Thanks everyone for joining. We've a really exciting session for you here today, so looking forward to it. So I suppose to start off, Ryan, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Miami-Dade County?
Sure, I'm a Miami native, born and raised in Miami-Dade County. Went to public schools here, went to University of Florida for college, graduated, worked in newspapers, and came back home. And I've been working at Miami-Dade County for 20 years, and it's a awesome place to be.
Awesome. And what was happening at your organization that led you to actually look for the dam?
So, um, so I was hired in 2004, and part of the reason I was hired back then was to create a photo library, the county's photo library. And it never really was given the resources to make happen, and we never really did it. We were, operating on a series of servers. We would have photos all over the place. And then in 2018 is when we decided to go with Media Valet, and it was a game changer for us, having everything web based, having and we started out by thinking we would have a county photo library where all our photos would be searchable by keyword. And it's kind of evolved into something different, something better, where it's a repository where departments, elected officials will house their photos, easily accessible, in addition to the stock, kind of the county stock photo library. So it's evolved from what the original ideas were, and it's just a necessity for our organization.
Awesome. And you touched on kind of some challenges there. I suppose what were maybe the three key challenges you were facing that led you to actually getting it dam?
So finding photos, I mean, finding photos of locations, finding photos of people, um, those that was always an issue, and I think we'll get into it later about facial recognition, but and also the location of those photos, not having them web based. So if anybody needed a photo or a collection of photo, they would have to be on our county network, and that was an obstacle for a lot of people. So finding photos of people, finding photos of locations, and the locations where those photos resided was always an issue for us.
Yeah, that is one of the great things of having a dam is it gives you that single source of truth where everyone knows where to go, where they can find things, and it enables them to find it that little bit easier as well. So, can you describe some of the cool ways that you're using Media Valet today?
Wow, don't know where to start there. So I have a team of four photographers, including myself, an awesome team of four photographers, and we live in Media Valet. When we go to an assignment, when we go to shoot, we go to the shoot, photograph, and then upload everything into the edit into Media Valet. And we also deliver photos via web gallery links to clients that way. And a lot of clients have their own account, but how we deliver the photos from assignments are exclusively by web galleries. But we also have four other people within the county that also upload, and they've been empowered to under our guidelines of how to upload. They've been empowered to use it and independently. And I'll see, I get to see what they shoot, but they don't have to go through me to get them on Media Valet and then send them the deliverable to their clients.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like you have a really wide range of users, and you've already kind of touched on politicians, photographers, people accessing event photos. Is that one of the things that you found really beneficial with Media Valet?
You know, I harp on this subject a lot because it really allowed us to organize our dam in a way that was useful for everybody and to everybody. Um, Assigning user groups. We have over 50 user groups, which means we have about 50 county agencies, elected officials offices, departments, on Media Valet. But the ability to assign a user group access to a specific folder and our county library, everybody has photo permissions and access to our photo library, kind of our stock. And then they also have photo to their, the transit agency will have access to the transit category, the transit photos, and the stock photos. So we've been able to kind of, lack of a better term, separate everybody, give them the permissions they need, let the custodians of those public records kind of control how their public records are used, and everybody has access to the stock folder, which are general photos of the county that are useful to everybody. But those user groups have been so powerful for us. It's allowed us to build this dam in a way that's huge. I mean, we really have a huge dam.
Yeah, no, I know every day we have hundreds of people accessing the Miami-Dade County Media Valet instance, so it's always great to see. And I think building on that as well, like the having those separate groups and having those permissions also means that they're not seeing things that aren't relevant to them. They're seeing what they need to see. They're able to self-serve their content and just get anything they need really, really quickly and easily. So I think that is definitely one of those real benefits of the unlimited users and groups. So I know we touched on it earlier and it's kind of the key focus for this webinar. So I'd love to hear about how you've got involved with face recognition and how it's improved your team's productivity.
Um, so I received an email from Media Valet about this new tool that was coming out, and there was a webinar about it, I believe, at the time. Facial recognition is coming out soon, and I saw it. I signed up immediately. I saw the webinar, and I don't think it was 5 minutes after that webinar finished, I emailed you. How do I get this for our dam? It's such a game changer for us because we get requests for photos of people all the time, whether it's past elected officials, current elected officials, current county employees, just people. And we've always received those requests, but it's always been so difficult to deliver a complete set of pictures of somebody. And now, I mean, we can. The Media Valet does it for us. We had a situation a couple weeks ago where someone someone in the mayor's office was being recognized for doing great things in the community, and I was requested photos of her, and it what would have taken, in that category there were, over 65,000 photos. I would have had to look through. If I say it takes 3 seconds to look through each photo, that would have taken me over 50 hours to complete, which would never have been possible. I would have put together an incomplete set. I identified her in Media Valet. It took me less than 30 minutes to create a light box, put all the photos of her in that light box, and share it with her. And then it was a complete set of photos. Every photo she's been in since the she started in the mayor's office in 2020, whether she was in the background, whether she was the point of focus in the photo. It was just a thorough and complete set, and it was greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I think you'll take 30 minutes over a week's work
Yeah,
any day of the week. So it's
and
really, really great to hear that.
that's just one example. We've had other requests, of photos of certain people, and in the past when we've done that, it's just nearly impossible to do. So the fact that we can do it quickly and thoroughly is amazing. Just complete game changer. And when we get those requests to have certain people, like not just one person, but say the mayor and the chairman in a photo together, or the mayor and a certain commissioner, which we've received requests for, it's just simple. You put the names in, and all the photos of them pop up. It's pretty unbelievable.
Well, that's awesome. And I think that is testament to the work you're doing as well to tag everyone and then really begin to leverage that by using the search bar to kind of build out that search and make it even easier for yourself. So I've definitely need to get your commendations for that as well. I suppose, would you say like we call that like maybe we call that like a hot damn moment? Would you say that that's probably your hot damn moment where you looked at the dam and you're like, wow, this is really what it's doing for our organization. This is where it's saving us time.
There's been a few. That was definitely one. Probably not the hot damn moment, but definitely
Okay.
a hot damn moment. Anytime I can save over 50 hours of time, it's going to be a hot damn moment. But we had someone from a transit agency was putting together photos for an anniversary project, and she's a user, and she had access to the photos she needed, and she created a light box of the photos that she wanted to use for this presentation, and emailed me the photo, the actually web gallery link to the photos, and asked me if she could use them. I said, absolutely. That's why they're there. And the fact that you already did this is amazing. And can you please send me a link to the Lightbox so it shows up in my Lightbox panel? And she did. And it was just a great edit. She did great work, and she found photos that she was looking for that, frankly, she knew what she was looking for better than I would have known, because it's serving her purpose. So rather than go back and forth with me trying to find photos, she did it, and she did a great job. And I actually definitely wanted to have that light box, and I do.
That's such a good story. And like, are you using, you've kind of touched on all of the different methods. Are you using all of those different ways to share, whether it's light boxes, web galleries, branded portals?
So we have a branded portal live on our Miami-Dade.gov website of sargassum, seaweed, beach cleanup. There's a big issue here. Tourism is gold here in Miami-Dade County, and we had seaweed washing up on the beach. So with the branded portal, we have the crews that are actually cleaning up this seaweed are taking photos of the work they're doing, showing beaches are clean. They're sending it to the communication folks in Parks, and then Parks is uploading it to that branded portal, which automatically publishes. So every day, the public is being shown photos of how clean the beaches are, whether it's residents or tourists. And that's a super cool tool because it's live. It's immediate. So as soon as they upload it, it's live on our internet. Regarding sending photos to clients from events, almost exclusively we use web galleries. That way, everybody, obviously, everybody can open them. Whoever gets the link can download. We always recommend to users to log into their Media Valet account to view photos that way, just because you have more flexibility on how you can share and download, especially multiple at a time. And light boxes. So I find the users who use Media Valet the most use light boxes more often. I have tons of light boxes in my account, in my panel. Actually, my team of photographers we each have our best of 2024 light boxes where we share them with each other. And from January 1st till now, everybody has put their best photos in there, and it kind of gives us inspiration to shoot different stuff and shoot better and talk about photography and what we're doing. So light boxes, web galleries, and the branded portal on the website is I mean, we're using it all, really.
No, that's awesome. And it's so great hearing the various different use cases that you have for each individual method of sharing. Like, they all have their pros. Some are better for some things. And as you said, web galleries, that more ad hoc sharing. Lightbox, as you said, it's very much a collection. And as you get into Media Valet, you become accustomed to the assets that you're going to be using on a regular basis. And so having them in just that really easy to find box there ready for whenever you need it, it's definitely an awesome feature. And I know that Sargasm Cleanup branded portal is branded lovely. I know it's constantly updating from that category that you have, and it's such a cool use case.
Yeah, and another way we've kind of used, and this is a web gallery used in a totally different way, is we'll go to a park, playground ribbon cutting, and shoot the event. And it was actually the parks department themselves selected, it was anywhere from 5 to 10 photos, and included a link to that web gallery in the press release that went out via email.
Okay.
And that went to various media outlets. So it was such an easy way for media outlets to get high-res files of an event that they're gonna publish photos from anyways. So there's just I always talk about our dam evolving, and even the ways we send out photos kind of evolve as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think your testament to leveraging all of the different methods, and it's so great to hear your own users coming to you with new methods. And I know that Lightbox story is always one of my favorites to talk about with the team here and share how effective that can actually be. Um, I suppose what results or outcomes, I know we've touched on a lot of them, but is there any results or outcomes you've seen with Media Valet that we haven't touched on? Anything you couldn't do before?
Oh, wow. Well, you know, from going from such an archaic way of storing files, storing photos, to now having a dam that's web based that has tools to make collections of photos, like we were talking about light boxes. I mean, we're a government organization. We get requests for official headshots for all elected officials. So we have a light box that has high res files of all the elected officials. All the photographers have it. It's been shared, and actually other people in our department also have access to that because it's just a common. And this is just one of many. It's just a common subject we get requests of often. Different parts, certain parks. We have heritage parks that people are always looking for photos of. So each one of those has their own light box, and it's just so the fact that we can quickly access photos that are often requested of us is it saves us time. It allows us to work on other things, produce other content, and create other photography rather than looking for photos that that would take us so much time that now are already there.
100%. I think that's the epitome of it all. So that's great to hear. Final question for you today. What would what would be your advice to someone looking to implement Media Valet or a dam?
Great question. So I would say stay open to what your dam is going to be, or even what you want it to be. When we started our dam, we thought it would become one thing, and it's evolved into something so much better. And even now, our current dam, we're going to evolve into something else, I'm sure, as new tools come out, like the facial recognition changed everything for us. So I would say just be open to what your dam can become, and what your dam is at the moment. Just be open on how much it can do.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And having that synergy of so many users coming in, everyone's going to have their ideas of ways that it can evolve, as you've kind of touched on today. And I think that's a very like inspirational and great way to put it to end off the webinar. We did have one question from one of the attendees. Our IT folks were a hard no about facial recognition use in our photo library because of security reasons. Can you address this important issue? Was that something you experienced, or if not, I can kind of give a media valet of some of the things that we've experienced with other people.
So I mean, obviously you have to consider that, but I had no reservations about it. We yeah, that was never something that was gonna stop us from using facial recognition. I mean, it's a facial recognition is being used in a lot of places, and for us, it's a tool to allow us to do our job better. But you can definitely speak on the security issue better than I can.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. It's something that we hear a lot. Each IT department is going to have their own regulations based on what can and can't be used in terms of AI. There are always going to be some specific use cases. For example, maybe identification in legal cases or things like that, that facial recognition isn't going to be able to cover that. And we'd probably advise even not using it for that, particularly for like that legal basis. In general, what I would say is discuss it with your customer success manager. They can discuss with your IT and see if it will actually fit your regulations. But as of yet, we've seen it implemented across a lot of different industries and haven't had too many issues so far. So there's just another question that's come in there. What's important for you when tagging or getting your team to tag photos with metadata?
That is such a good question.
Yeah.
So number one is correct spelling, believe it or not. Um, we've had issues where maybe a set of photos was not tagged correctly, and we had to go back and fix it. But obviously spelling is paramount. But and not only does Media Valet have facial recognition, but Media Valet also has cognitive metadata, which tags the photos for you. So it gives you and you can toggle it on or off to use it, or not use it, but which is really helpful. But we have a rule where at least 3 words, at least 3 keywords, and that's a minimum. Put as many keywords as you can, spell the words correctly, and just describe the photo as best you can. And that, in addition to the cognitive metadata, um, really allows us to. And I should add that we don't tag everything. Obviously, we only tag the photos that go into our stock category, our county library. So everybody gets access to that stock category, and those are the only photos we tag or we keyword. But everything through cognitive metadata is actually tagged. But if you toggle that off, you'll only get the photos that we keyword ourselves.
Yeah, great answer. And I think to build on that answer, something that I've seen work really well across all industries is actually using those attributes alongside your keywords. I think we can all experience it. Some days we're very in the mood to put in metadata, some days not as much. So having that almost step-by-step process of, okay, this is the piece of information I need to enter here. These are the 5 topics I need to discuss, or maybe regions or departments or whatever that attribute may be for yourself. Having those in as part of that upload process can be a really, really great way to encourage people to put in that information. How do you decide on the different levels of access for users of the dam?
Another good question. Like I said, we and specifically this question because that it goes back to our user groups and assigning user groups. So we have it's about 50, a little bit more than 50 county agencies, departments, elected officials office on Media Valet. And it really comes down to who needs what. And there are, like I mentioned before, custodians of public record. So I can't give, a District 8 office access to District 5 photos. Only District 8 gets access to those photos. So it's not a hard decision. My department communications, who deal with the entire county, gets access to everything. The mayor's office, who's they get access to everything. And then for the most part, every department, whether it's the elections department, parks, which I mentioned a bunch of times, transit, solid waste, they get access to only their photos and the stock folder, the county's photo library. So typically someone in a department or an elected official's office will have access to their own category plus the stock category, and that's it. And if they need photos from if transit needs photos from solid waste, then transit asks solid waste for those photos.
Yeah, great answer. Um, I think as well, something that's always good when you're building out your groups is adding that description so that you can very easily see and know straight away what they actually have access to, who the particular users of this group are, and just give yourself that little bit of guidance as an admin so you're not having to flick through each and every group to understand exactly what's going on with them. But great answer.
Absolutely. And I should add that we have limited who uploads, and we have a guide to uploading, to make sure everything has a standard. So we have a group of professional photographers who upload. So not everybody uploads, but everybody can go through an uploader to load. So we kind of limit who uploads. Anybody who needs it can be a user, but as far as uploading capabilities, we kind of limit that for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's definitely, particularly when you have so many users, having that granular permission to decide exactly what they can do That is really one of the great benefits of a dam. I'm just going to check if there's any more questions. Perfect. I don't think there is any. So yeah, I'd love to just thank you, Ryan. I think this was a really, really enjoyable chat. I love going through the work that you've done because you really are maximizing the value of your dam. I think the way you as an admin use it, the way you enable your team to use the system is just fantastic to see. And so it's been great hearing all of the various different use cases that you've got, all the examples, and I just want to really thank you for your time.
Well, I appreciate it.
Uh,
I thank you because whenever I need something, you're the person I call. So I appreciate it, Dave.
Hey,
We
we're
talk.
all,
The funny thing is we have these conversations often. This one just happens to be recorded.
yeah, that's the only difference. This was one of my easier webinars to prepare for because it was just the usual conversation that we always have. So,
Yes,
um,
sir.
definitely been really enjoyable, and just want to thank you again. I think if there are any attendees there looking to learn more about face recognition, to build out some of these workflows that we've discussed, and look at even those methods of sharing, please reach out to your customer success manager. They'll be able to provide you support. You've unlimited training with Media Valet, so really begin to lean on those people to support you and help you build out some of these fantastic use cases that we're seeing across various different industries. But other than that, I think a big thank you to everyone for your attention, for attending, and I'm sure we'll chat to you in the next Hot Damn Talk.
Thank you.
Thanks, folks. Thanks, Ryan.